The iPad screen lit up the darkened bedroom with a sudden harsh glare. The vibration buzzed against the wood of the nightstand like an angry hornet. I rolled over and squinted through the haze of sleep at the digital clock. It was 3:14 in the morning here in Chicago. That meant it was 4:14 in the morning in New York. Sarah had said goodnight to me at midnight her time. She had sent a photo of her face buried in a pillow. She said she was exhausted from a double shift at the hospital. But the notification on the screen was not a text message. It was a shared album alert from the cloud. New photo added by Sarah. My heart gave a strange and painful thump in my chest. I reached out and grabbed the tablet with cold fingers. People do not usually upload photos at 4 in the morning while sleeping. I swiped the lock screen open. The brightness stung my eyes as the gallery loaded. It was just one photo. It was blurry. It looked like an accidental snap taken from inside a pocket or a purse. The image was mostly black fabric and a slile of red light. But it was the metadata that made me sit up straight in bed. The location tag was not her apartment in Queens. The location tag said The Velvet Lounge, Brooklyn. I stared at the words until they blurred together. The Velvet Lounge was 40 minutes away from her bed. My thumb hovered over the image. I saw the live photo icon in the corner. I pressed my thumb down on the glass to play the 3 seconds of video. The black fabric moved. The audio hissed with white noise. Then I heard it. It was loud bass music thumping in the background. And then a voice right near the microphone. It was Sarah's voice. She was laughing. It was not the tired laugh of someone who worked a double shift. It was a low and flirty laugh. Then a male voice spoke over the music. "Put that away, babe. Don't worry about him." The clip ended and snapped back to the still image. I sat there in the silence of my Chicago apartment. The room felt suddenly freezing cold. I played the clip again. "Don't worry about him." I played it a third time. My hands began to shake so hard I had to set the tablet down. I grabbed my phone from the charger. I opened our text thread. Her last message was still there from 4 hours ago. "Going to pass out now? Love you so much. Don't stay up too late." I looked at the blue bubble. It felt like a mockery. I opened the Find My Friends app. The map loaded a grid of the East Coast. Her icon was not at the Velvet Lounge. Her icon was showing as location not available. She had turned it off. Or she had put her phone in airplane mode. But the iPad used Wi-Fi. If her phone had connected to a public Wi-Fi to back up photos, it bypassed the location block. She did not realize the cloud sync was on. She did not realize she had just handed me the gun to shoot my own heart. I got out of bed and paced the floor. I needed to be sure before I did anything. I needed absolute concrete proof. I walked to the desk where my laptop Saturday. I opened the lid and logged into our joint bank account. We opened it 6 months ago to save for the wedding. We both put in $500 a month. It was supposed to be untouchable. I scrolled through the recent transactions. My eyes scanned the dates. Yesterday was clear. Today was clear. Then I saw the pending charges section. Uber, $45.50, 11:45 p.m. The Velvet Lounge, $62, 12:30 a.m. The Velvet Lounge, $85, 1:45 a.m. Uber, processing 3:10 a.m. She had used the wedding fund. She had used our future money to buy drinks for the guy who told her not to worry about me. I felt bile rise in the back of my throat. I ran to the bathroom and splashed cold water on my face. I looked at myself in the mirror. I looked like a ghost. I had trusted her implicitly for 3 years. We had survived 2 years of long distance. We were 3 months away from closing the gap. I had a transfer letter sitting on this very desk. I was moving my entire life to New York for her, and she was currently in an Uber at 4 a.m. with someone else. I walked back to the bedroom. I picked up the phone. I did not call her. If I called her now, she would deny it. She would say she was sleeping and I was crazy. She would say her phone was hacked. She would gaslight me until I apologized. I needed to trap her in the lie. I needed to watch her construct the web so I could burn it down. I sat on the edge of the bed and waited. I watched the green dot on Messenger. She was not active. I watched the timestamp on WhatsApp. Last seen today at 11:30 p.m. She was being careful with her socials. But she forgot the financial trail. She forgot the cloud backup. 10 minutes passed. The silence in the apartment was deafening. Then my phone buzzed. It was a text from her. "Hey baby, just woke up to get water. Miss you." My stomach twisted into a knot. She was establishing an alibi. She was pretending to be at home. I stared at the text. I could feel the adrenaline surging through my veins. I typed back. "Hey, can't sleep." I waited. The 3 dots danced on the screen. "Yeah, just a bad dream. Going back to sleep now. You okay?" She was testing the waters. She wanted to know why I was awake at 3 a.m. I typed slowly. "I'm fine. Just working late. Go back to sleep." I wanted her to feel safe. I wanted her to think she had gotten away with it. "Okay. Love you. Love you too." I put the phone down face down. I felt like throwing it through the window. I went back to the laptop. I took screenshots of the bank charges. I saved the photo from the cloud to my hard drive. I screen recorded the live photo with the audio. I created a folder on my desktop named Evidence. It was a folder I never thought I would make. I went to the kitchen and started a pot of coffee. There was no way I was sleeping tonight. The sun was starting to rise over Lake Michigan. The gray light filtered through the blinds. I drank the coffee black. It tasted like ash. At 7 a.m. my time, it was 8 a.m. her time. She usually called me on her way to work. I sat on the couch with my phone in my hand. I waited for the ring. At 7:15 a.m., the phone rang. It was a FaceTime request. I took a deep breath. I forced my face into a neutral mask. I accepted the call. Her face filled the screen. She looked tired but put together. She was wearing her scrubs. She was walking down the street towards the subway. "Good morning, handsome," she said. Her voice was chirpy. Too chirpy. "Good morning," I said. My voice sounded flat even to me. "You look tired," she said. "Did you get any sleep?" "Not much," I said. "Work was brutal." "I bet," she said. "I slept like a rock. I was so exhausted." She looked right into the camera and lied. She didn't even blink. "That's good," I said. "Did you do anything after your shift?" I saw a flicker in her eyes. Just a microsecond of panic. "No, just went straight home and crashed." "What?" "Just asking," I said. "I miss you." "I miss you too," she said. "Only 3 more months." "Right," I said. 3 more months." She walked down the subway stairs. The signal started to break up. "I'm losing you," she said. "I'll call you at lunch." "Sure," I said. "Sarah?" "Yeah." "I love you." I wanted to see if she could say it back. "I love you too, baby." But the screen went black. I dropped the phone on the cushion. I felt numb. She was a professional liar. She had done that with zero hesitation. It made me wonder about everything. Every time she fell asleep early. Every time she had a girls' night. Every time her battery died. Was the entire last year a lie? I went to the closet and pulled out my suitcase. I was supposed to fly out in 2 weeks to look at apartments. I looked at the ticket saved in my email. It was non-refundable, but I wasn't going to look at apartments. I was going to go there to confront her. No, that was the old me. The emotional me. The logical me knew that was a waste of money. I needed to end it from here. But I wanted to hurt her. I wanted her to feel the humiliation I felt. I sat back down at the computer. I looked at the evidence folder. I opened the shared Google Drive we used for wedding planning. There was a folder called Venue Ideas. There was a folder called Guest List. I created a new folder inside the main directory. I named it Last Night. I uploaded the screenshots of the bank transactions. I uploaded the video of her in the club. I uploaded the audio clip of the man's voice. I did not send her a notification. I just left it there. She checked that drive every morning from her work computer. She would see it as soon as she logged in. I watched the clock. It was 8:30 a.m. in New York. She would be arriving at the hospital now. She would get coffee. She would sit at her desk. She would open the drive to add notes. I stared at the screen, waiting for the activity log to update. My heart was hammering against my ribs. This was the nuclear option. Once she saw this, there was no going back. 5 minutes passed. 10 minutes. Then the icon on the Google Drive changed. Sarah is viewing Last Night. My breath caught in my throat. I watched the indicator. She was opening the bank screenshots. She was opening the video. 1 minute later, my phone rang. It was Sarah. I let it ring. It stopped. It rang again immediately. I let it ring. Then the texts started pouring in. "Babe. What is that? Let me explain. It's not what it looks like. Please pick up. I can explain everything." I read them from the notification bar. I did not open the thread so she wouldn't see the read receipts. I wanted her to sit in the silence. I wanted her to feel the panic rising. Another call came through. I declined it. I typed a single message. "Who is he?" I hit send. The typing bubble appeared instantly. "He's nobody. Just a friend from med school. We just got drinks." I switched apps to the bank statement. "You spent $300 of our wedding money on a friend." I sent the screenshot again. "You lied to my face this morning. You lied about where you were. You lied about sleeping. You lied about everything." She stopped typing. The silence stretched for 2 minutes. Then a new message appeared. "I was scared you would get mad. I didn't want you to worry." Nothing happened. I laughed out loud in the empty apartment. It was a harsh, bitter sound. "I heard the audio, Sarah. I heard him tell you not to worry about me. I heard you laughing. Did you sleep with him?" The typing bubble appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. "No, absolutely not. We just danced. That's it." I swear on my life. I didn't believe her. The trust was gone. It had evaporated the moment I saw that metadata. "Turn on your location," I texted. "Why?" She replied. "Turn it on. Now." She didn't reply. But a moment later, the Find My Friends app updated. She was at the hospital. She was telling the truth about where she was now. But it didn't matter. I'm going to call the bank, I texted. I'm marking those charges as fraud. No, please don't. That will freeze my account. It's not your account, I replied. It's our account. And you stole from it. I'll pay you back. She texted. I'll transfer it right now. Please, baby, don't do this. We can talk about this. I made a mistake. I was drunk. It didn't mean anything. Every text was a new nail in the coffin. I was drunk was the worst excuse in the book. It meant she made decisions she wanted to make, but usually suppressed. I stood up and walked to the window. People were going to work. Couples were walking dogs. Life was moving on. And my life had just crashed into a wall. I looked at the transfer letter on my desk. The paperwork I was supposed to sign today. I picked up the pen. I drew a big X through the signature line. Then I crumpled the paper and threw it in the trash. I went back to the phone. I'm not moving to New York, I texted. The response was immediate. What? Don't say that. Please don't say that. You can't throw this all away over one night. We have plans. We have a life. You had a life? I corrected. You chose to ruin it. I'm done, Sarah. I'm taking my half of the savings out today. You can keep the rest to pay for your Uber. I logged into the bank portal again. I initiated a transfer of my contributions back to my personal checking. It would take 3 days to clear. I hoped she wouldn't drain the rest before then. To be safe, I called the bank immediately. I spoke to a representative. I told them my card was compromised. I froze the joint card. Now she couldn't spend another dime. My phone was vibrating nonstop on the desk. 20 missed calls. 50 texts. She was spiraling. I felt a strange sense of calm wash over me. The worst had already happened. The bomb had detonated. Now I was just walking through the rubble. I decided to answer one last call. I needed to hear the truth in her voice. The phone rang again. I picked it up. Hello, I said. Oh, she was crying. Hysterical sobbing. Please, please listen to me. I'm listening, I said coldly. I was stupid. I was so stupid. I felt lonely. You were so far away. He was just there. He bought me a drink. One thing led to another. I cut her off. One thing led to another. That sounds like more than just dancing, Sarah. She went silent. The sobbing stopped abruptly. Did you sleep with him? I asked again. Tell me the truth, and maybe I won't block you forever. It was a trap, but she took it. Yes, she whispered. The world tilted on its axis. Hearing it was infinitely worse than suspecting it. It felt like a physical blow to the gut. Where? I asked. I don't know why I needed to know. At his place, she whispered. After the club? Yes. So you didn't go straight home? No. You went to his apartment. You slept with him. Then you took an Uber home at 3 a.m. And you uploaded a photo to throw me off. No. The photo was an accident. She cried. I was trying to delete it, and it uploaded. God has a funny way of revealing the truth, I said. Opie, please. It meant nothing. I love you. I want to marry you. How can you say that? My voice finally cracked. How can you say you love me when you were with him 4 hours ago? You used our wedding money to buy him drinks. That is not love. That is disrespect. That is trash. I will fix it, she screamed. I will do anything. I will quit my job. I will move to Chicago. I will let you track my phone 24/7. I don't want a prisoner, Sarah, I said. I wanted a wife. I wanted a partner. You are neither. Please. Her voice was fading. Goodbye, Sarah, I said. Don't contact me again. Wait. Up. Wait. I hung up. I pressed the block contact button. I blocked her on Instagram. I blocked her on Facebook. I blocked her on WhatsApp. I sat there in the silence. It was over. 3 years gone in 3 hours. I felt an overwhelming exhaustion. I laid back down on the couch. I stared at the ceiling. A tear rolled down my cheek. Then another. I let myself cry. I cried for the future we lost. I cried for the wedding we wouldn't have. I cried for the fool I was. But then my phone buzzed again. It wasn't Sarah. I had blocked her everywhere. I looked at the screen. It was a direct message on Instagram. From a user I didn't know. Hey man, I think you know my girlfriend Sarah? My blood ran cold. I sat up. I opened the message. It was a photo. It was Sarah and a guy. But it wasn't from last night. The date stamp was from 2 months ago. They were at a beach. His arm was around her. She told me she broke up with you in January. The message read. But I saw her phone this morning when she was in the shower. I saw your name. I saw the wedding folder. I think we both need to talk. I stared at the screen. My hands started shaking again. It wasn't just one night. It wasn't just a mistake. She had a whole other life. 2 months. That was when I flew out to visit her for her birthday. She had been with him then. I typed back. Call me. I sent my number. The phone rang almost instantly. Hello. A male voice said. It was the same deep voice from the video. This is Opie, I said. This is Mark, he said. I'm sorry, man. I had no idea. She told me you were an ex who wouldn't let go. She said you were stalking her. I laughed again. It was a manic sound. Stalking her. We have a joint bank account. We were looking at apartments. I was moving there in 2 weeks. Mark was silent for a moment. She moved in with me last week, he said. The air left my lungs. What? She said her lease was up. She's been living at my place. She said she was picking up extra shifts at the hospital. That's why she was gone at night. She was talking to you. The puzzle pieces slammed together. The times she couldn't talk. The background noise. The reason she didn't want me to visit until next month. She was living with another man while planning our wedding. Where is she now? I asked. She's here, Mark said. She just came in crying. She's locked in the bathroom. She doesn't know I'm calling you. Put her on speaker, I said. I want her to hear this. Okay, Mark said. I heard footsteps. I heard a door handle rattle. Sarah, open the door, Mark said. Go away, she screamed. I need to be alone. Sarah, I have OP on the phone, Mark said. Silence. Total silence. Then the lock clicked. What? Her voice was tiny. I know everything, Sarah, I said loudly. Mark told me everything. You moved in with him? You told him I was a stalker? No, she whimpered. Don't lie, Mark yelled. I could hear the anger in his voice. I saw the text, Sarah. I saw the wedding ring saved in your Pinterest. You played both of us. I can explain, she said. It was her catchphrase. There is nothing to explain, I said. Mark, she is your problem now. Actually, Mark said. She's packing her bags. I'm kicking her out. Where will she go? I asked. I don't care, Mark said. She can go to the hospital. She can go to hell. OP, please. She screamed at the phone. I have nowhere to go. My lease is gone. I have no money. You froze the account. I'm in New York City with nothing. That sounds like a you problem, I said. You should have thought of that before you cheated on 2 men at the same time. I'm pregnant, she blurted out. The line went dead silent. My heart stopped. Mark stayed silent. What did you say? I whispered. I'm pregnant, she sobbed. I found out yesterday. That's why I went drinking. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. Whose is it? Mark asked. His voice was shaking. I don't know, she whispered. I felt like I was going to throw up. I had visited her 4 weeks ago. It could be mine. It could be Mark's. This changed everything. Or did it? You went drinking while pregnant? I asked. You were taking shots at the Velvet Lounge with my baby? Or his baby? I was panicking. She cried. I didn't drink much. You spent $85 at a bar. I yelled. You put my child at risk? If there even is a child. Maybe this is another lie. It's not a lie. She screamed. I have the stick in my bag. Show me, Mark said. I heard rustling. Here. Jesus Christ, Mark said. It was real. She was pregnant. And she was homeless. And she was a cheater. And she was alone. I need help, she said. One of you needs to help me. This is your responsibility too. I closed my eyes. I rubbed my temples. This was a nightmare. A literal, living nightmare. I want a paternity test, I said. Me too, Mark said. Until then, you are on your own, I said. No, you can't do that. I have no place to sleep. Use the money you stole from me before the transfer reverses, I said. Get a hotel. And Sarah? What? She sobbed. Don't call me until the baby is born. I will contact a lawyer. We will do this through the courts. Opie, please don't do this. I love you. Stop saying that. I warned. You destroyed us. And now you want me to save you. I am not your savior. I am your victim. Mark, I said. Yeah. Good luck, man. You too, he said. Get her out of your house. She's leaving now, Mark said. I'm escorting her to the curb. I heard the door open. I heard city sounds. I heard her crying fade away. She's out, Mark said. I locked the door. Thanks for listening, I said. Thanks for telling me, he said. We hung up. I sat in my apartment. It was now 9 a.m. The sun was bright. But my world was dark. I was single. I was broke until the fraud claim processed. And I might be a father. Or I might not. I looked at the empty space where my suitcase stood. I had been so ready to start a life. Now I was waiting for a DNA test. I wondered if I should have helped her. She was pregnant. She was alone on the streets of New York. But she had lied about everything. She had manipulated everyone. Did she deserve empathy? Or did she deserve consequences? I picked up the phone and called my mother. I needed to tell someone. Hey Mom, I said. Hey honey, are you excited for the move? I broke down. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I'm not moving, Mom. Why? What happened? Sarah is cheating. She's pregnant. And I don't know if it's mine. My mom gasped. The story poured out of me. Every ugly detail. When I finished, there was a long silence. You did the right thing, she said. Protect yourself. Come home for a few days. I can't, I said. I have to work. I have to deal with the bank. I have to find a lawyer. I'm coming to you then, she said. I'll be there tonight. I felt a wave of relief. I wasn't completely alone. I hung up and looked at the evidence folder again. I dragged it to the trash. Then I restored it. I needed it for the lawyer. I needed it for the paternity suit. I needed it to remind myself never to go back. Because part of me, the sick part, still loved her. The part that remembered the laughing girl from 3 years ago. But that girl was dead. She died the moment she uploaded that photo. I was grieving a ghost. I walked to the kitchen. I poured the rest of the coffee down the sink. I needed water. I needed to clear my head. My phone buzzed one more time. It was an email. From Sarah. Subject, please read. I hovered the mouse over it. Should I open it? Or should I delete it unread? I clicked open. It was a picture of the ultrasound. And a note. I know you hate me, but I feel it in my heart. It's yours. Please don't abandon us. I stared at the grainy image. A little bean. A life created in lies. I didn't reply. I closed the laptop. I walked out the door to go for a run. I needed to feel the pavement under my feet. I needed to feel pain that wasn't emotional. I ran until my lungs burned. I ran until I couldn't think. And now I am here, sitting on a park bench, sweating, shaking, asking strangers on the internet for perspective. Because I don't trust my own judgment anymore. I don't know what is real. I only know that I am broken. So Reddit. I left my pregnant fiancée homeless in New York City after finding out she was living with another man. She has no money. She has no place to stay. She is carrying a child that might be mine. Mark kicked her out. I blocked her. Am I the monster here? Should I have sent her money for a hotel? Should I fly out there to make sure the baby is safe? Or do I let her face the consequences of the life she built? My heart says save her. My brain says run. What do I do?